Hello, my name is Suma Zachary Jacob and I am an IELTS trainer in Dashana, Kottayam. So today I would like to give you a few tips for speaking. Now, like any exam, when you go for an exam, you should know the criteria on which the examiners mark you. And in speaking, there are 4. And they are fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, as well as pronunciation. Now, fluency sometimes is not something that we can develop overnight. It takes time. In the meantime, you could do tricks like putting fillers when you have uncomfortable sounds like it's called humming sounds. You could use words like, well, I'm not sure, but I think that, or I'm not really keen on it, but I think that, or there are many differences between how it is today and the past, and so on. And these fillers are much better than uncomfortable sounds. So fluency can be improved in the meantime till you really get your fluency going by using these kind of fillers. And you could create your own, which are academically perfect phrases. Moving on to the next thing, which is coherence. Coherence is the ability of the listener to understand what you are saying. And you can improve it when you tell a story, when you move back and forward, like when you recall incidents that happened and you're talking about the past, and sometimes you're going to the present, and the future. So the movement back and forward can be improved by using appropriate keywords. Like, for example, few years ago is better than some days back. Back is correct, but it's informal. Ago is perfectly formal language. So many years ago, few days ago, some time ago are good words to go backward. When you're going forward, you could say afterwards, later. These are appropriate words. When you're going a step back, you could say yesterday. But if we are talking about a specific time, like in the night, you would say last night. So collocations are also important. Yesterday, that is, you're talking about the whole day, and last night, when you're specifically referring to a point of time in the night. There are other words also, like a day prior to the event, a day prior to the wedding, a day prior to something. So those kind of words like prior, which are less used by students, are something that you could learn and use when you're telling a story. Moving on to the next criteria, which is lexical resource. And lexical resource is nothing but the vocabulary, and vocabulary should be apt. The right word in the right place. Also, there should be a wide range of vocabulary. For example, I'm talking about my favorite actress, Aishwarya Rai. I would say that she's beautiful. But when I'm talking about her husband, I would not use that word. I would say he's handsome. When I'm talking about their child, I would say she's cute. And there are other words also I could use. I will not be referring to Aishwarya as a beautiful woman all the time. I have to use a wide variety of words, a range of vocabulary. So I would say she's beautiful, she's lovely, she's stunning, she's gorgeous, and so on. When I'm referring to her husband, I would say he's handsome, he's dashing, he's attractive, and good looking. If I'm referring to their kid, I would say she's cute, she's adorable, she's sweet, and so on. Let's say Aishwarya Rai has a dog. I would use vocabulary related to the dog. Like I would say, it's not a very fancy breed, she has an ordinary mongrel, or she has a fancy breed like a Labrador, a Dachshund, a Rottweiler, and so on. The next criteria that we come to is the grammatical range and accuracy. Now, when we talk about range, it's a mixture of simple, compound, and complex sentences. And an easy way to get a compound or a complex sentences is to use strong connectors like although, even though, in spite of, despite, and so on. Even not only but also is a favorite with many students. And you could say, like, for example, not only do I like chocolates, but I also enjoy eating ice cream. So that helps you get a combination of different kinds of sentences. So grammatical range is perfect. And when it comes to accuracy, of course, the tense should be correct. Last but not the least is pronunciation. Now, pronunciation is different from accent. The examiners are not bothered about what kind of accent you have, because each foreigner has their own accent. The American accent is different from the British, which is different from the Australian accent, and so on. So accent doesn't really matter, but the pronunciation of words should be correct. And people from many states in Kerala, especially, many states in India, especially Kerala, have problems with words that start with Q, words that start with W. For example, quick, quiet, quite, quit, queen, squeezed, and so on, as well as WA words like what. It's not wa sound, but wa sound. What, was, watching, wa sound. I think that's all for today. I hope these tips have been helpful to you. Till we meet again, ciao.